Welcome, Catholic Christian here. Happy Memorial of Our Lady of Sorrow, September 15th, 2025. If you don't have a devotion to Our Lady of Sorrows, I highly recommend it, okay? A lot of exceptional graces that you'll receive and closer intimacy with Jesus Christ, obviously through the sorrowful heart of Mary. Nonetheless, here we are again, and we're going to react to the famous Cleave to Antiquity, Ben, and his partner, his Protestant partner, Miles from Canon and Creed. Oh, guys, we're going to wipe the floor with these two knuckleheads. I'm kidding. Well, am I? I don't know. I've had Ben on my channel. That's Cleave to Antiquity. I've had him on here. I actually collaborated with him in a video on, gosh, what was it? Oh, we were reacting to the Tim Gordon and Jay Dyer debate, I believe. So, yeah, I love my Protestant boys. I do. But we got to hold them accountable. Okay. They can't get away with this. So Ben and Miles from Canon and Creed, they just came out with a video today, I believe, talking about extreme ecumenism and how the Vatican, Pope Leo the 14th, they are going to progressively get worse in allowing this extreme ecumenism. Okay. And they bring up Nostra Aetate and the whole Muslims worshiping God as the Christians do, and a host of other things. So we're going to get right into it, and we're going to react to this. Please, though, if you can, do me a favor, 27 people, 30 people, 30 people, please like the stream, please. When you like the stream, it kicks out. The algorithm kicks it out, and then other people can see it and join the party. So if you want to see, our Protestant brothers getting rebutted and refuted, like it. Also subscribe if you haven't subscribed, if you're not a subscriber. Okay. So Ben, Cleave to Antiquity, like I told you, I like him. Okay. He's my Protestant brother. You know what I mean? Do I agree with him on everything? Absolutely not. Do I think there's some weird stuff going on? Maybe a little bit here and there. Maybe. I don't know. I will say this, though, and this kind of encapsulates a lot of Protestant apologists. So it's not just Ben, it's a lot of Protestant apologists. And what that is an inordinate obsession, an infatuation with Catholicism. Because they know, well, there's a couple things. They know without Catholicism, their channels, and I'm speaking more of Cleave to Antiquity, their channels would not thrive and or survive. They need Catholicism to succeed in the apologetics world. Okay. And I think, and this is rather shrewd of Ben, I'm not going to lie, but if you want to be successful and you want to reach a lot of people, make a lot of content on Catholicism, because you got a lot more viewers and people out there who are Catholic. So, but yeah, I'm dropping a video this Wednesday on the slimy tactics of Protestants, not so much Ben, but the slimy tactics of Protestants and why they're so obsessed with Catholicism. So I wanted to show you, though, what I mean. Like, oh, is this just hearsay, right? Oh my gosh, Aggie Spammy's here. I got really excited. Aggie, where have you been, man? So let me share this with you, okay? And again, this is I'm just showing you. I'm just observing, okay? But literally, it's this obsession. It's not my opinion, guys. I come with receipts. Okay, so this is Cleave to Antiquity. This is Ben's channel. Okay. Now, these are his shorts. I'm not saying it's 100% Catholic, but it's dang near close. So if you see these shorts, right, you must understand this to study church, whatever. This makes Catholics melt down. Catholics will rage at this historical fact. Catholics won't admit this. Catholics hate this fact about the papacy. And then we go down. What do you think? More or less? Papal supremacy in under 2 minutes. Catholics can't explain this. Oh, he's got a Taco Talks in there. We'll throw that wild card in there. Catholics, what is going on here? I mean, that's just a little taste. Okay. That's just a little taste. But I've seen this in Gavin Ortland. I've seen it in other apologists, Protestant apologists. And it's just like, see, the Catholic Church and Catholicism, Our doctrines, we can just promote them, preach them, articulate them, and they can stand on their own. We don't need to bring anything into the mix. Protestantism, and I'm sorry to say this, but Protestant apologists, it's almost as if they know they have this confirmation bias and they got to make themselves feel convicted. And the only way they're going to do that is if they bring up Catholicism and attack it. So then, it's like the little brother, I don't know, picking on his older brother to make himself felt like more authentic or something, or vice versa. It's just, yeah, I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. Okay. I get it, but I don't get it. All right. So that's that. And then, like I said, Reform or Canon and Creed, and then Ben, they did a video together. So let me share their video. I don't know, guys. I caught a lot of snark and condescending tones. I really did. Now, I'm not judging it. I'm not. But these two, I don't know. It's like they have not just a beef with Catholicism and Catholic apologists, but they just have this inordinate axe to grind. You know what I mean? And like with the title, like the hidden threat facing the church today. Well, what's interesting about that is, what do you mean the church? I don't understand why Protestants always, whenever a Protestant, and I mean this with charity and respect, whenever a Protestant refers or alludes to the church, because they'll talk about that like an ecclesiastical way, the church. What do you mean? What, the church? Are you referring to us? Or are you referring to an indifferent, quasi-physical, quasi-invisible church that transcends what differentiates us? I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, please like and subscribe, guys. I do have a super chat goal. And I'm going to put it up right now. Just bear with me here. So I know you guys have super chatted me already, so I really appreciate that. We got to feed the kids, and if I can reach this goal, I will randomly give away a t-shirt. How about that? Okay, a Catholic Christian t-shirt. You can wear it in public, or you can just use it to like clean things at your house. Does that make sense? Okay, we're gonna just go 20. Okay, 20 is the goal. 20, 20, 20. And free t-shirt. All right. Grazie, guys. All right, you guys ready for this? Tell me if you're ready for this. This is Cleave to Antiquity and Miles from Canon and Creed. Y'all ready for this? Okay. It's going to get interesting, but I'm going to play it on 1.25 because, and then we'll go from there. I'll do closed captioning as well. All right.
Well, brother, thank you for being back. We're going to have a discussion about ecumenism, particularly extreme ecumenism. How are you doing today?
Yeah, pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, for sure. So you actually had a debate on your channel on the subject of ecumenism between was he a true Orthodox?
Yeah, true Orthodox priest and a Roman Catholic gentleman were on there. The Roman Catholic was pro-ecumenism. The true Orthodox absolutely against any form of it.
Yes. And so I think it's interesting because I think this is something a lot of people, especially as the internet, like apologetic space and just like the Christian YouTube world is growing and expanding and more people are getting pulled into it. I think it's a question a lot of people have of what is ecumenism? What is too far? What is not enough? How should we see things? What are your thoughts on that? How ecumenical are you?
Okay, I just want to quickly comment here. Notice he asked, maybe it was just rhetorical, I don't know. Notice he asked, what is ecumenism? This video is, I believe, 22 minutes. Not once do they define or even attempt to define ecumenism. And I'm not just talking about how we define it. I'm talking etymologically, historically, whatever you want to say. What is ecumenism? They don't define that. So every time they say ecumenism or extreme ecumenism, what do you mean? Because they're going to equivocate without even knowing it on interfaith dialogue or interfaith relations and ecumenism, because they're obviously not the same thing. And we'll get into that later. But yeah, come on, guys.
Sure. I think it depends on which perspective you're speaking from. Because if you're talking about from the Protestant perspective, it makes sense to be ecumenical between the Christian traditions, as long as we share the basics, like the Trinity, right? You're not going around denying Jesus Christ's divinity, that kind of a thing. Like we can cooperate to some extent between denominations. But when you hold to like a one true church view, like the Roman Catholics do and Eastern Orthodox, maybe less so the Roman Catholics
Syrian Church of the East, Oriental Orthodox. Come on, just saying.
now, because they've got some documents that have kind of changed that up a bit, like Vatican II calling us, oh, we're just separated brethren now. You're no longer a condemned heretic going to hell. You're my separated brethren. It's going to be fluffy flowers and all this stuff.
Okay. Here's my problem. Now, he said, I think he's appealing to or alluding to the Council of Florence. I want to say with the whole, oh, you're no longer a heretic condemned to hell. Now, if anyone wants to correct me on this, as far as I know, yes, there have been individuals by name that have been anathematized. But in the anathemas on the canons, right, they're a juridical sentence. Okay. They're not a condemnation to hell. They never have been. Okay. I'm not saying fathers and patristics have never spoken in that language of certain heretics, bound for hell. I'm talking about ecumenical councils such as Florence or the earlier ones where they condemn a heretic or a schismatic to hell. Now, Vatican II and separated brethren. Well, okay, so he's saying, see what he's doing, and a lot of Protestants do this. They pit the Council of Florence with the Council of the Second Vatican II and say, well, look here, you have, and again, he's kind of being a little too hyperbolic, condemned heretic to hell. And then over here, Vatican II, you have separated brethren. Okay, well, first of all, heretic, condemned, you could qualify those things. But where does a canon individually condemn somebody to hell? That's what I want to know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But out of all the ecumenical councils, I don't know that. Now, go to separated brethren. What does separated mean? Go to separate. What does separated mean? You're excommunicated, at least in the formal sense, right? You're excommunicated, or you're out of the jurisdiction of the Catholic Church. Like her canon law doesn't, at least formally and strictly, apply to you. Okay? So you're separated. And I know some people can morally be separated, right? Internally, without actually being separated externally. But that's what the separated means. So yes, what is a heretic? Well, a heretic has to be a Christian. There's no such thing as a non-Christian heretic. It's the post-baptismal rejection of something that has been divinely revealed to be held by divine and Catholic faith. That's heresy. Well, if you formally commit heresy and get excommunicated, and you're a formal heretic, you could say a condemned heretic, but not to hell. Well, a separated brethren is the same thing. That word separated, that's what that means. That means you're a heretic. Materially or formally, whatever. You're a heretic. And you're our brethren or our brothers because you have been baptized. You're a Christian. Ontologically, by that indelible mark, you will always be our brothers because of that baptismal mark. That's so really there is no difference. Okay. But they like to, they don't like to get into the nuances of the etymology of these words and what they mean. Is this juridical? Is this moral? Is it both? Is it dichotomized? No. On the surface reading, boom. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Guys, they mean the same thing. Hermeneutic of continuity, not rupture. Let's go.
But with the Eastern Orthodox view, it would make sense for them to be anti-even Christian ecumenism, because if you were to look at like their Eucharistic theology, right, it's actually giving you like salvific grace. And if it's only found within the Orthodox Church, then it would make sense for them to be like, no, we're not going to do ecumenism with anybody we deem to be heterodox. We're going to be very insular. But with Protestants, we don't really have that view. It's just kind of like, well, you know what? The church is believers in Christ, so we can work together with other believers in Christ. Now, there might be areas where we disagree, but we still work together in certain aspects. But with the Orthodox, it's not really the case. With the Catholics, that's something that's changing very, very quickly. And they're becoming way more ecumenist than even most Protestant denominations would be.
Okay, remember that. The Roman Catholics are becoming way more ecumenist or ecumenical. I don't know what he said. than most Protestant denominations would be. Okay, so now I think he's actually okay just inferring. When we're talking about ecumenism, we're talking about Christian unity, the church, like all the Christians, no matter which denomination or which church or whatever, as long as you're validly baptized and you're a Christian, it's an effort, a global effort to be one, as Jesus prayed, as the Father and he are one. Okay. But notice what he'll do now. He'll talk about some things in the Vatican or Pope Leo XIV, Father James Martin, Pachamama, et cetera, and he'll say that is extreme ecumenism when, no, that's not ecumenism anymore. We're not talking about ecumenism. We're talking about something completely different that they fail to make that distinction.
Well, it's funny because there's a lot of cope that I see on this where you'll see.
Okay, and every time I love Miles. What hat is that? Atlanta? I love Miles, but dude, every time he says cope, take a shot. Take a shot of whiskey, okay?
Some people try and defend, the switch between Trent and Vatican II as no. Separated brethren, that's always been the understanding. We can go all the way back to Donatist controversy. And like they'll try to appeal to all sorts of stuff and retrofit their defenses of like, it's always been the current way that we see it. There wasn't really this drastic shift. Yeah, except all the trad cats don't think that. They all think that Vatican II was this hard departure. And so it's just interesting to kind of see the defenses on that.
No, I would trad cats. So again, it depends on the person, but what I think he's trying to say is sedevacantist, okay? Because we have a lot of beautiful traditional Catholics, okay? Let's just say that. I have friends who are very traditional Catholic, and they don't think Vatican II was a departure from the deposit of faith, okay? So, yeah. So don't encapsulate everybody as if they were Peter Diamond. That whatever.
Agree. I'm very like pan-Protestant. I know there's a lot of Reformed people, for example, and especially like Lutherans and even Anglicans, who are very much like, I'm going to only like stand by and defend my tradition. I always encourage people on my channel. I want people to be in confessional churches because I think confessional orthodoxy, historic Protestant confessional orthodoxy is like good. It's worth defending and those sorts of things. And so I'm very pan-Protestant in that regard. It's like, oh, if you only have like a Lutheran church in your town and that's like the only confessional church, okay, go join that church and start serving that church and support, et cetera. So I'm very like pan.
Okay. I'm sorry. I actually didn't realize this. Miles, I don't know if he's going to be watching this. I hope so, because then maybe we can have a dialogue or maybe he can react to this. So he's very pan-Protestant, right? Pan meaning kind of just like, as long, well, in his milieu or his definition, as long as it is confessional. So the historical pedigree of Orthodox Protestantism, the mainline churches, Anglicanism, Lutheranism, to me, that's where it stops. But I'm pretty sure he's Reformed. But then it's okay. So if you're Lutheran and you don't have a Lutheran church in your town, well, just go to an Anglican, as long as it's mainline, as long as it's in that category. And you guys want to rip on us for extreme ecumenism to make it sound like we're indifferent synchronous, because he'll use that language coming up. Like, I'm sorry, dude. When I was a confessional Lutheran, no, dude, no. You go to we didn't even go to any Lutheran church, any old Lutheran church. We went to only one of like 3 synods or sects or whatever. We were strict and rigid on that. Ecclesiology was a lot to us. So for us just to, because of my special circumstances, we don't have a Lutheran church. See, that's the problem when you don't have a universal church that is one across the globe. You're going to be in a town and you're not going to have access to your specific confessional ecclesial community. So then indifferently, you're just, well, as long as it's confessional, then we're good. Pan-Protestantism, I'm sorry, but that's indifferent syncretism. That is like, sorry. I love these guys.
I'm Protestant, but it's funny because I get called all sorts of things from varying parties, especially with my work to Adventists. In that world, I'm like this hyper ecumenist because they think any sort of ecumenical, which makes sense. They're a one true church group, and they have the very extreme eschatology around that identity. So it makes sense that they would think that any sort of linking arms with anybody that doesn't look exactly like you is this sort of like satanic influence or whatever. But at the same time, a lot of them will also tell me, and then other people will also tell me that I believe and claim that you have to be a Presbyterian to be a Christian. So it's funny. I hear.
Okay, to be a Christian. I don't know if that, what does that have to do with anything? We're not talking about the criteria for what makes a Christian or who is a Christian and who's not. I don't really think, because guys, remember, ecumenism is for Christians of different churches and ecclesial communities. It's not for Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, whatever. So I don't really understand what's going on.
The whole
there.
spectrum of things, because I don't necessarily always fit into like a perfectly custom crafted box. I just align with like the historic Protestant position. A lot of people are shocked to find out that the reformers did not make this, drastic radical claim that like, well, no Roman Catholics are Christians, no Orthodox are Christians. And you really have to get into what do people mean by the term Christian. And we recognize they have valid baptisms. And like you said, they affirm the foundations of the Christian faith. Now, the Protestant rally cry was that the necessary heads of religion that are found in the creeds have been added to by these groups through papal accretions and these types of things.
Whoa. Is he alluding to the filioque? Bro, Council of Toledo. Is that what he's talking about? Accretions and additions to the creed? What else would he be talking about if it wasn't the filioque? Right? Can someone help me out on that? Well, if you're going to say that, I mean, don't these guys confess the Nicene Creed with the filioque? And you got to remember, Constantinople I added the procession of the Holy Spirit from the Father to Nicaea, the Nicene Creed. So I don't know what's going on here. And yeah, how flattering of him to recognize our baptisms, right? Wow, that's wonderful.
Where they're now trying to tell us, well, this is what the creed is confessing. And the Protestants stood and said, no, that we can look at the ancient church's exposition of like the Apostles' Creed, for example, or the old Roman Creed, as it was originally called, like Rufinus's commentary. And we don't find them confessing what you're telling us the creed is confessing. They've got the core of it, but then they've got these other things they've added on top of that. But you don't find the reformers doing this sort of like hyper sort of like only Protestants are Christian.
Right.
And then some people whittling it down to like only this specific strain, this small little strain is actually Christian.
But what's his point? Well, I don't understand why he's saying all this. Is he alluding to maybe us saying that like only Catholics are Christians or the Orthodox? That's how they define it. I don't. Why is he bringing this up? I don't understand.
There was a shared core that was recognized. So I guess if that makes you an ecumenist, sure, I'm an ecumenist. But like you mentioned, there's some extreme ecumenism that's going on. Let people know, what do you mean by that? What is the sort of stuff that you've seen that you would call extreme ecumenism?
Okay. Now, if I'm watching this for the first time, I'm going to be like, oh, he's going to actually define what ecumenism is. What is it? What isn't it? What's the etymology? What's the history behind it? What's the development? All this stuff. No, you don't get that. So like why I don't understand why they feel qualified to talk about this subject when they can't even distinguish between ecumenism and interfaith dialogue or interfaith relations.
Sure. I'll talk about that in just a second, but I want to comment on what you just said because there's actually a Luther quote that's kind of funny. I'll give the Ortho bros their flowers. Luther says like what did he say? That like the Greek Orthodox are the best Christians or something. Yeah. There's a quote that floats around they like to share quite a bit. So I'll give you your flowers. There's your Luther win for the.
Why? Because they both contested universal jurisdiction of the papacy. Great.
John Calvin has one defending them as well. He in his Institutes, he asked the question rhetorically. He says, so the Roman Church has deemed the Eastern Church to be schismatic on what grounds? Simply because they refuse to recognize this unlawful office that you're claiming is the universal head of the church here on earth. So even he defends them in that capacity.
Okay, but I don't want to beat this. This isn't really about the video, but it's just like, okay, what is schism then? You know, it's interesting to me because take the other apostolic churches in the East. How did they define schism? What is their canon law? What is their canon law when in regards to schism? What's the definition? Well, it's not going to be ours. Ours is breaking communion, right, with the Roman pontiff. Now, there can be moral schisms, juridical schisms, and all that stuff. But if you don't have a working definition, why are we talking about why bring up these words and these empty, meaningless words? I don't understand.
There you go. Protestant Ortho Bro Alliance. When is that starting?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, gosh, I've seen that more times than I care to admit, guys. When Protestants and Eastern Orthodox on X or even on YouTube team up and go against us. It's just like this bait and switch, good cop, bad cop. Like, oh, I'm your friend today, but tomorrow when we talk about something we disagree on, I hate you.
So extreme ecumenism. Yeah, I mean, we see it quite often with the Roman Catholic Church. In the last 40 or so years, there are a lot of clips that I literally cannot share on YouTube because they're very Nat Geo and extreme.
Okay, Nat Geo. I've never heard of that. And I did not Google it. I promise. I wouldn't lie. And it took me a while. It took me a long Nat Geo, National Geographic. So when you go around the world to indigenous peoples and environments and they're naked, that's what it is. But again, remember, guys, we're talking about extreme ecumenism. What is ecumenism, Ben and Miles?
Extreme ecumenism, reaching outside of even Christian bounds. So you've got
reading outside of Christian bounds. That's not ecumenism. It's interfaith dialogue.
Bishops praying in the mosques. You've got popes praying in the mosques towards Mecca. You've got them blessing synagogues. You've got Benedict literally doing a liturgy with a Amazonian priestess, full Nat Geo, not wearing nothing, and then taking part in the liturgy. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I've got a whole compilation of videos.
Okay. Let me address this really quickly, okay? Because I don't know if my buddy Michael's listening, watching, or in the thing here, but even so, what? At worst, this is just a bad prudential judgment. You know, it's a distinction between the act and the principle. That's at worst. Now, okay, so we're into the realm of interfaith dialogue. I would just like to bring this up. So I know a lot of Catholics don't agree with me on interfaith dialogue. That's fine. But Jesus, right? When he invited pagans, moral degenerates, prostitutes, tax collectors, what have you, to dine with him and to hang out with him, they were not Jews. They were not Jews. Well, maybe some of them were, but you know what I mean? Like when it came to like interfaith dialogue. And guess what? Whom did it scandalize? Yeah, the Pharisees. It's a scandal. Does it go too far? We'll wait on that. It might go too far, but we'll work on that.
On my channel that I can show that aren't so explicit like that one was, in which they have these Amazonian people in full Amazonian garb with a full headdress, outfit, everything, incensing the altar, dancing around and doing chants in the middle of a Catholic mass. So you do have this form of pan-religious ecumenism that is absolute. I mean, if you were to look at the writings of Aquinas in his Summa Theologica, he literally says that if you were to pray in the mosque, it's considered apostasy. So,
okay. Now, I might need some help here from you guys. He just appealed to St. Thomas Aquinas. That St. Thomas Aquinas said in his writing somewhere that if you were to pray in a mosque, a Christian, that is, you would become an apostate, or you would commit the sin of apostasy. I can't find it. I'm not saying he didn't say that. I'm not. I'm just saying I don't know what the heck he's talking about. Could it exist? Fine. I will admit, but I don't think that is a part of St. Thomas Aquinas. I just don't. So if you guys want to pull that up, I'm fine with, being corrected. But
even from the standards of the angelic doctor of the church, they become apostate.
Bro just said angelic doctor of the church.
By participating in these types of extreme levels of ecumenism. And I think we're going to continue to see this level of ecumenism from the Roman Catholic Church. Now, granted, it's not limited to just them. There are several mainline Protestant denominations that have unfortunately become very liberal and participate in almost exactly the same thing. Many of the individuals that are part of the World Council of Churches participate in similar actions. Typically, it's like a political move. They want to appease the Muslims, so they'll go pray in the mosque or something along those lines. Or they'll use very flowery language regarding Islam, which we saw a lot of that pop up. And every now and then there is like a new trend in apologetics for the topic to be covered. So not that long ago, I think it was 2 months or so ago, it was Vatican II. So you saw a lot of these quotes pop up of people of different traditions saying, "Oh, Islam's so great," okay, whatever. Like,
who said that? Who said Islam's so great? Bro, it's a false religion predicated on error. Like, what? Who said that? I mean, that's just anecdotal evidence that you're trying to use to undermine Vatican II. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, maybe someone said it. I don't know.
extreme ecumenism is like a cancer to the soul. It infests the institutions in which these actions take part in, and it flavors the entire life of the church in a different direction.
What? Like, don't get me wrong, okay? I will be fair. Yes, our prelates can obviously do imprudent things, scandalous things when it comes to ecumenism and or interfaith dialogue, okay? I'm a realist. It can happen. It can happen. But he's taking that as if it's a cancer that's going to permeate throughout the entire universal church. And the whole direction of the church is going to just like fall into this inordinate ideology of extreme ecumenism. What? Like, I don't see the correlation there. That's just me, though.
We see this quite often with the Roman Catholic Church. And I think one of the reasons it's so shocking there is because it's almost a complete 180 from the time of, like you said, Trent, where they're taking a very hardline stance, one true church. Basically, everybody that is on the outside of our church is anathema. We're not even going to consider you. To Vatican II, Protestants are separated brethren. The plan of salvation also includes such as these. It mentions the Muslims, and it mentions
guys. See this again. I don't want to make an unjust speculation, but the vibe that I get from Ben when he brings up Vatican II is that he hasn't read all the dogmatic constitutions. Okay, did he not read in Lumen Gentium that there is no salvation outside of the Catholic Church? And if you know the Catholic Church to be the true church and do not join her or leave her, you're condemned. I mean, you're toast. Oh, let's not bring that up, though. Yeah.
Hindus, and it mentions other groups, which is absolute insanity. And they're bound to affirm these things by ecumenical council. Now, you have Roman Catholics that will deny the salvific aspect in reference to these other religions. And they'll say, no, it's actually not saying that. It's saying something completely different. But if you were to look at Roman Catholics that are being honest, like Michael Lofton.
Here we go. We're gonna have to correct Michael Lofton. I love Michael Lofton. I'm not here to bash him, but we're gonna correct him. Just hold on.
For an example, he's publishing the information. I mean, I'm citing Michael Lofton, but look at it. He's being honest. Say what you want about him. He's actually reading the documents and publishing this information and saying, look, this is actually what Genzinger says on this subject. And I'm tying this back to Vatican II. Then you get people like, la, 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 la. No, it's not what it says. La, 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 la. It's like, okay, no, it's expositing the documents of Vatican II saying, yeah, actually, we do mean the plan of salvation involves Muslims and Hindus. Yeah, they actually can be saved. Yeah, they actually have quasi-pagan sacraments.
I don't know, guys. I just see, to me, I love Ben, but to me, what he's doing is he's intentionally going to Michael Lofton because he knows. Okay, forget about what he knows and doesn't know in terms of like Catholic theology. He knows that other Catholic apologists have corrected Michael Lofton. He knows that. So he knows Michael Lofton's wrong on this. But do you think he will go to, say, Christian Wagner and manifest what Christian Wagner has said on this issue, or Kevin Fernandez? Because Kevin Fernandez, since 33 AD, has the best video on the issue of, or not the issue, but the topic of Muslims and Christians worshiping the same God. No, he doesn't bring that up. And I'm going to bring up a clip from since 33 AD where I'm calming down, where he ridiculously refutes Ben. So much that Ben was speechless and I think he had to block him or something. I'm just saying. So we'll get to that. But this is what you got to understand about the elements, right, of truth in other religions, okay? Naturally, right? Because like the Muslims, right, they can make a natural act of worship, and that's what they're doing, even though they divine supernatural facts like the Trinity or Christ's divinity. But there are certain elements of truth concentrically going out, and those elements serve strictly as actual graces that will predispose you, right, to accepting the gospel. Now, when Michael says quasi-pagan sacraments, I'm just guessing. You could qualify that a million ways. It doesn't matter. It's imprudent. It's bad language. It's imprecise. Don't use that language. Okay. I'm not trying to bash Michael. Everybody's bashing Michael. I'm not going to bash him, but you can't. So Ben's capitalizing on Michael Lofton's mistakes and pitting that against all the other Catholic apologists. That's what he's doing. I mean, that's just what he's doing. You know, oh gosh. Anyways.
Which is an insane statement to make. It absolutely makes me sick. But the more and more you do research into this, the more and more I think we're going to see more extreme ecumenism come out of the Leo papacy. We're just starting to get a little bit of a taste of the insanity with the meeting with Father James Martin. I'm sure you saw that. He was a very pro Skittles Roman Catholic priest.
All right, guys, I'm not Gen Z. I don't know if that's a Gen thing. What is Skittles? Is that homo? What is Skittles? Like Skittles in his head, he's just kind of not there. What is Skittles? He's a Skittles priest. Help me. I don't know what that means. I could Google it, but I want some interaction here. I love Skittles. Skittles is the rainbow. Yeah. Oh, okay. Skittles, like the pride flag. Okay, I got it. All right. How come I didn't make that correlation?
Going to have the big Jubilee parade straight up into the Vatican, into the big basilica over there. They're going to be walking right through the holy doors, pride flags. They have a crucifix with rainbow colors on it for this event. And Leo's going to be speaking at the event. So that's just the beginning of it. We're going to see the Pope's splainers come back in full force, and we're going to see much, much more insane levels of ecumenism, I think, in the coming months.
Okay, I don't think that's ecumenism, Ben. See, guys, I'm gonna address the LGBT scandal or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna address that in Father James Martin. Okay, I'm gonna address that. But here's the thing: when you invite an LGBTQ, can I buy a vowel? I don't know how that works. Can I buy a vowel? Q. What does Q stand for? Queer? Smear the queer. Did anyone play Smear the Queer? Be honest. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. What does that have to do with ecumenism? I would suggest that all those people, the vast majority, I'm sure some of them are Catholics, some of them are Christians, but I'm sure some of them are atheists. So it's not necessarily ecumenism in the strict sense, right? Because ecumenism is working for the unity of Christians worldwide, of all ecclesial communities and churches. Okay. Now let's go back to this whole, oh my gosh, we had pride flags and pride crosses and the whole scandal. This is what I'm going to say about it. Okay. It didn't look good. Okay? It didn't look good. It didn't look good. Here's the thing. You can invite people, and it doesn't matter how morally degenerate they are, what kind of reprobate or ideology they are. You can invite them. You can even invite them into a sacred space so long as they don't profane and sacrilege, right? You can do that. My problem, though, is that what they brought into the Vatican, okay? I'm not good with symbols of ideology. Swastikas, pride flags, I mean, whatever. I know they're a little different, but when you're bringing that into the Vatican and into the public and nobody's regulating or monitoring that, and then we have pictures all over Twitter and whatever, and we're seeing that, it's just, I think it could have been done in a more prudential matter, in a more prudent matter than what we saw on the internet, okay? So if there's one thing that I will concede to Ben and our friend Miles, partially, but I think people are over exaggerating it and blowing it out of proportion. I really do. I'm not trying to downplay it, but guys, that's not, what is that going to do? You think Pope Leo is going to like turn gay or something? Don't clip that, by the way. Don't you dare clip that. Okay.
Yeah, well, you preempted what I was going to ask about, because you know that a lot of the Roman Catholic ankle biters, they're going to comment on this video and they're going to say, Ben's misrepresenting. He's appealing to exceptions, not the rule. And they're going to claim that you're misrepresenting things because it's not an official position or you don't understand some nuance or some sort of distinction. But just to make it clear.
I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not. That's exactly what happened. He didn't make a distinction between ecumenism and interfaith dialogue. That's a stark distinction, guys. And then I don't know like why his buddy here has to go to bat for him and defend him. And he's anticipating all these ankle biting comments. Ankle biting comments or ankle biters? What are we? What are we? Shih Tzus?
You have material out there, correct, where you would say that the sources actually do not support that sort of understanding and that people need to go look at the sources themselves and come to their own conclusions?
Yeah, look at the sources of how we define the distinction between ecumenism and interfaith dialogue. Go to the sources. But no.
Absolutely. If you were to read through Denzinger, which is the source of Catholic dogma, if you were to go and read through that, you can actually see some of these citations clarifying some of these terms. And yes, the actual meaning is the plan of salvation does include them. It's not just there as some sort of like a one-off random thing. Now, you could probably hyper-qualify that and say, well, in cases of ignorance, like, well, in cases of ABC 1, 2, 3, you can hyper-nuance this away. But the documents themselves, as well as the documents clarifying these, actually does tie in some sort of salvific instance with the Vatican II documents.
Yeah, but Ben, you got to read them. Have you not read them? Because if you read them, the dogmatic constitutions of Vatican II, you would know the distinction between ecumenism and interfaith dialogue. I'm just saying. Guys, this is where I have to say, if you haven't already, please like the stream. Please like it. It helps the algorithm, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed.
Yeah, I guess it's been a couple months now when for some reason, it's not like this was new at the time when this just popped up again. It's just stuff happens on the internet that gets people talking about it again. But the Nostra Aetate issue regarding Muslims adoring the one true God. And, a lot of the discourse that I saw was trying to say, no. See, you're not understanding. We're saying that they have the proper referent. They're referring to their God as the God of Abraham, and the true God is the God of Abraham. So you're just misunderstanding. No, it also says they adore the one true God, which is a worshipful action. It just, the cope to try and defend this stuff is just, let's be honest, man, none of them would touch this with a 10-foot pole if their church did not force them into this hand.
Okay, so that is quite the jab. That's quite the jab at us. None of us, especially laity, right, would touch this with a 10-foot pole if our church, Vatican II, Nostra Aetate, didn't force it on us. Which I would retort with, why do you think Nostra Aetate was written? Why? Just give me a why. Give me some context of why it was written. Because in your opinion, or at least it seems to be, they just randomly, out of thin air and whole cloth, wrote Nostra Aetate just to force it on us. That's it. And to confuse and scandalize Orthodox and Protestants. That's why Nostra Aetate was written. You need to see... Some of these guys, they will actually go and read these constitutions, Nostra Aetate, Lumen Gentium. But you also got to do your research on why they were written, when they were written. But no, not doing it.
Single one of them would be trying to justify the idea that Muslims worship the same God. But you have to understand the qualifications that we mean when we say worship and all this hair-splitting nuance and all this sort of stuff. And then trying to, again, the same cope. I've seen so many people on that.
Take a drink of your booze or take a shot of whiskey every time he says cope. Okay?
That try to act like this has always been understood. Even the early reformers understood this and believed this. And they'll go quote mine and pull stuff out of context.
I'm sorry. I might have to pull up Kevin's video. He's so alluding to since 33 AD's video because unless I'm mistaken, Kevin Fernandez since 33 AD, he's the only one that researched his theologians going back to the Reformation era. And he actually used quotes from certain like Presbyterian theologians and other Protestant theologians. I have his video up, but let's just keep going. There's a lot of talk here, but there are no receipts. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, what he's alluding to. Why don't you pull up a video? Give me an example of what you're referring to.
Even understanding how worship in historic Protestant theology is tied to union with Christ, true worship, and that in order to offer true worship, you have to actually be in union with Christ, and that there's even people in the visible church who, by virtue of not being in union with Christ, aren't actually truly worshiping God, but are actually heaping up judgment for themselves, no differently than, the pagan, actually worse so because they have more light than the pagan outside of the covenant people, etc. But it's just crazy, the sort of defenses and whatnot. But I just say that because I know they'll comment on here and they'll go on some diatribe skeed of, or screed on X and all these platforms.
What did he say? Diatribe skeed? What the heck is that? I thought he said diatribe. Anyways.
And talk about how we have no clue what we're talking about. We're totally clueless. Folks, go read the sources for yourself, okay? Because the stuff you're describing, I've seen the videos, you know, the Pachamama stuff and how they tried to memory hole that and act like that wasn't real. Some of them say it wasn't even real. Then the evidence is there. And then you'll have some people that say, okay, well, it was real, but that doesn't formally speak for the Roman Catholic Church. We all have goofballs and quacks in all corners, etc.
Okay. Now, I'm actually going to concede a little bit, just a little bit, because this actually pisses me off. I'm not going to lie, okay? We all know who's responsible for the Pachamama hoax. All of us, okay? And just for the record, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I never fell for that crap. Never. Not even for a second. We all know who's responsible for that. And I really hope he does repent. I do. I know that sounds really judgmental, but I just do. I really do hope, because how many people in the, not in the Catholic Church, just around the world, Christians around the world. So that actually is a rupture in our ecumenical efforts with our Protestant Orthodox brothers and sisters. So when you have someone just saying, oh my gosh, they worshiped this idol in the Vatican, blah, 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 and then we threw the Pachamama in the river. Look who's using it against us, guys. Look, these two. Do you think these guys will ever even consider becoming Catholic because of that? No, it's a scandal. It was a made-up hoax, and it was. We all know that. No one's like backpedaling or memory holing. I've never heard of that, but he said memory holing. Sounds dirty, but seriously, that's a no-no on our part. I'm not going to lie. I will say we're guilty of that. That came from us, not from them. What a crock. What a crock. What a crock.
Yeah, go look at the data on that stuff. Look at Roman Catholicism in Brazil and Latin America and these sorts of places where you see all sorts of syncretism taking place that just further bolsters.
Oh, no. It's not syncretism. It's enculturation. It's enculturation. Yes, I know it looks a lot different liturgically from your Western white, like Protestant, milieu and how you worship. But dude, we have diversity in liturgy, and it's called enculturation, not syncretism.
This hyper-ecumenism that we're talking about.
Ignorant.
Yeah, I think part of the issue, though, is many of the Roman Catholics that are engaging in this type of debate regarding Vatican II, they're kind of low information converts. So when they enter into this,
okay, who's the low information convert that he's talking about? And look at that still face of Ben. Yeah, Ben, I love it. You know what I mean? Is he alluding to like people he's arguing with on X? Because I guarantee you he's not alluding to Kevin Fernandez. I know he's not.
They're convinced by very low-tier arguments, and they'll stay convinced by low-tier arguments. So you'll see individuals wanting to cope around this issue by grabbing, like, I don't know, they'll grab like 30 quotes, and they'll make some kind of introductory statement and say, this is actually, we're going to talk about how the Jews and Christians have the same God. And I'll pull 30 quotes out of context to show that the Jews and Christians have the same God. And then we'll just say, hey, trust me, bro, this also applies to Muslims or something. Not realizing that it's referring to like Old Testament Jews, pre-Christians. It's just taking them completely out of context.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my question for them. This is his, and this is where I'm going to play Kevin Hernandez clip. Okay. This is my question for him. Is there such a thing as a natural act of worship? Is there such a thing as natural theology? Can Gentiles, and I'm, obviously referring back in the, pre-Christian days and maybe the apostolic era, can Christians come to a natural knowledge of God? Per Romans 1, I think 19, 20, 21. Can they not, or can they? And here's the thing. So let's just say for the sake of argument that they can come to the knowledge of God as such. Not a supernatural revelation, but as such through natural theology. Okay? Why does that stop if Muslims and Jews reject the Trinity or the divinity of Christ? Why can't they still make a natural act of worship despite their false religion? Why can't they? Okay? That's the question for these guys. I'm getting a little animate. Dude, they're taking jabs at us, and it's just so unfounded, and they're not read. And so I'm going to play this clip from Kevin Hernandez. Okay. So Ben is going to go, we haven't gotten to it though, but Ben is going to talk about how Roman Catholics have lost their last 8 debates, like the big ones, the big public formal debates, just lost them. And we're just crashing out, and we're just pop apologists. We don't know what we're talking about. The Nostra Aetate thing is just indefensible, blah, 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 blah. You know why? because he got, I'm sorry, but there's no other way to say it. He got absolutely owned by Kevin Fernandez. I mean, I'm just saying objectively, even if I was a Protestant and Orthodox, and here's the thing, did Ben respond? No, he couldn't respond. Okay, so this is, hold on just a second. I think this is it. Yeah, here's Kevin, our boy Kevin, since 33 AD. Give him a little shout out. Man, these faces are great. And yeah, he's going to actually bring up a clip from Ben, and he's going to refute it. So this is what I'm telling you guys. If you want to talk about Michael, if you want to appeal to Michael Lofton and pit Michael Lofton against all the other apologists without even mentioning Kevin Fernandez in this video, then yeah, I kind of judge your intention, or I'm kind of suspicious of your intentions. Okay.
The question is, after God has revealed the Trinity, after we have heard the gospel, if we reject that Christ is God and we reject that God is three persons in one nature, are we still worshiping the same God? Or by rejecting the Trinity and by rejecting the divinity of Christ, are we creating another God in our head and therefore committing idolatry? Here is Cleave to Antiquity making an argument about this.
They claim that the Muslims adore the one God. Okay, so they adore the same God. Okay, the important thing to think about this, are Muslims Trinitarian? Do they worship the same God as us? Do they worship the Trinity? Okay, because that is what is required according to the Fifth Ecumenical Council, Canon 1 of the Fifth Ecumenical Council. If anyone does not confess that the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit are one nature or essence, one power or authority, worshipped as a trinity of the same essence, one deity and three hypostases or persons, let him be anathema. For there is one God and Father of whom are all things, and one Lord Jesus Christ through whom are all things, and one Holy Spirit in whom are all things. Defining who God is, the Trinity. If you do not define God in this way, you are anathema. Okay.
Anathema does not mean that you inherently believe and or worship in a different God. We have plenty of Protestants who have been anathematized. They still are Christians and they still believe in the same God. So on that note, just itself doesn't say or do anything. But let's let Kevin go.
Okay. So you have the Second Vatican Council claiming that non-Trinitarian Muslims worship the same God as Roman Catholics. And then you have the Fifth Ecumenical Council stating that if you describe God non-Trinitarian, you say that this is the same God we worship, then guess what? You're anathema. This is a contradiction.
I agree 100%. If you do not accept the Trinity, you are anathema. However, Ben here fails to distinguish between reference and sense. Vatican II is speaking in terms of reference, and Second Constantinople is speaking in terms of sense. So they don't contradict one another at all. Muslims reject the Trinity, and therefore they do fall under the anathema of Second Constantinople because they reject the sense in which we understand God. But this in no way entails that they refer to a totally different being that they've created in their head now when they say the word God. To suggest that Vatican II is contradicting Second Constantinople is to misread both councils. I mean, do you think that the theologians who went to Vatican II and wrote the documents for Vatican II no longer accept Second Constantinople? Do we no longer think as Catholics that people who reject the Trinity are anathema? Of course not. In fact, post-Vatican II manuals, such as, for example, by Emmanuel Duranzo, still say that the Muslim
Vatican II, as well as John Paul II, state that Muslims have the same God as Roman Catholics. However, the Bible actually says that false religions are inspired by demons. What do you think about this?
But here, Cleave to Antiquity makes several errors. First, he says that, quote, false religions are inspired by demons. But this point is relevant because the object of worship, who is worshipped, and the origin of a religion are different. I would 100% agree that Islam is inspired by demons, was started by demons, but this has nothing to do with whether they actually worship God or demons. Just like a Protestant might say that Catholics worship God, even if some of our teachings are inspired by demons. Secondly, Ben, or Cleave to Antiquity, is putting words in the apostle's mouth and making him contradict himself. St. Paul never says that false religions are inspired by demons. He says that sacrifices offered to idols are offered to demons.
Okay. Again, it goes back to the distinction between supernatural, or that which has been revealed by God, and performing a supernatural act of worship, and then coming to the knowledge of God naturally and performing a natural act of worship. They don't make that distinction. And so therefore, yeah, they really have a hard time understanding why Lumen Gentium and Nostra Aetate say what they say. All right, let's get back to our boys.
Love saying, you'll never find the apostles calling the Jews idolaters. They think that that's just like this home run argument. I'm thinking to myself, I mean, the cope. It's just crazy. I've seen them
take a couple shots.
try to pull quotes from like Reformed scholastics, Lutheran scholastics to then try and say, well, see, even they agreed with this. It's all superficial appeal. It's cope to try and do damage control.
Take another shot.
Like I said, I do not believe for 1 second that any of these guys that defend this stuff publicly would be doing so if their church didn't force their hand. I don't believe it. And again, like the Discord bros, they're going to tell you we're not the clueless ones, etc. But they're the ones using these horrible defenses that I see. For example, at least some of them. They're not the only ones, obviously, but it's like you're using the same defenses that like the low information convert is using. So I'm not really sure that.
This is what I find. Again, I'm just saying this on the surface. It seems disingenuous because they appeal to these low information converts and then Michael Lofton. Notice how they'll never say Christian Wagner or Kevin Fernandez or DoorDash Thomist. Never. Why? Because they can't. And they know they can't. And they know they're out there. Like, you know what I mean? They know their arguments. They know they've talked about this in of their videos addressing this.
All that scholasticism is doing you much good.
Yeah. Well, I think it's evident in the big string of Catholic losses and debates lately. There's been like 8 back-to-back losses in the last 3 months of like the biggest.
I'm sorry, bro. What are you talking about? So apparently the Catholic world has just been losing like constantly debates and everything like that. Like, I'm sorry, but what about you and Kevin Fernandez back and forth? Huh? What about that?
Platformed debates. I mean, the last, 4 Jay Dyer debates against Catholics, they've lost horribly. The last.
See, Eastern Orthodox and Protestants, they stick together when it comes to the debates.
Couple of debates I've done on Vatican II, the Catholics lost horribly. When are they going to learn their lesson that this is indefensible? This is ridiculous.
Well, maybe they're regrouping currently because I saw after the last Jay Dyer debate, I saw a lot of people throwing Tim Gordon under the bus, basically saying, well, he's not a good representative. This is why we need to. This is why the apostolate needs to or I can't remember exactly what this person said. I saw one person saying something like, "This is why the church should regulate who can become an influencer." Because then we have people going out there who don't know what they're talking about. But isn't he like a one-topic debater? Isn't it just like the thing he debates all the time? Maybe I'm not really plugged in super hard on a lot of the lore on that. But I thought he was one of these types that like he pretty much debates like one issue all the time. But either way, it's not really a good defense. That's my point. Is nothing. Really
No, Tim Gordon is debated on a variety of things.
Personal about him. Like I said, I don't know him personally, but that's not really a good defense. So I wonder if they're currently like regrouping.
This is what I would say about that. I actually like Tim Gordon, and that probably would not apply to him specifically. There are individuals I would give that label to. Tim Gordon's pretty well-rounded guy. He's kind of a scholarly type, more academic type, but he also does things on like Freemasonry. He does things on like infiltration of the Vatican. He's one of those guys. He's a very trad guy. I like his channel a lot. Rules for Retrogrades. I'll poke fun a little bit, but I actually do respect Tim Gordon. But they will use that. Anytime they lose, they'll try to just discredit whoever the debater was. They did the same thing with Trent Doherty, who was a PhD in linguistics. They were marching him out as like, this like, oh, he's gonna finally destroy them because we've been losing all of these.
I want to know one person, just give me one name who thought Trent Doherty, the guy that crashed out on Ben and JP, and likewise with Jay Dyer, who thought that he was going to come and show him up or debate him well and prove him wrong? I never did. Like, did anyone think that? And yeah, who cares if he has a PhD? Can we substantiate that? Like, what is going on here? Oh gosh. But here, you notice, right? None of these guys will debate. Christian Wagner wouldn't debate these guys. He wouldn't. But they would never debate him or Kevin. And you know why they wouldn't.
Vatican II debates, loses against Jay Dyer twice, loses against me, crashes out, flips me off, drops like F-bombs, all sorts of other stuff, and then retires. So they're like, oh, he's not a real debater. You're like, okay, like I'm debating.
Of course he's not a real debater. He eats apples and crashes out on every debate. And you, again, intention, motive, I don't know. But why would you debate someone you know who has that temperament to crash out? Everyone's giving you a hard time because you don't debate high-tier quality debaters. And then you choose Trent Doherty, who eats mukbang or whatever during the debates. and then crashes out and, you know, cusses you out.
Guys that have PhDs, dude, they're not real debaters. What do you have to have 4 PhDs? What's the deal? How many
No, you just got to debate Christian Wegner or Kevin Fernandez. That's it. Just debate those two. One of those two. Who cares about a PhD?
PhDs you have to be a real expert on these subjects? It's just ridiculous cope. But I can already kind of predict the thoughts in the comments. The comment that I get over and over again. Well, what about Paul when he was talking about the unknown God? What about this? What about that? It's the dumbest line of reasoning, because the entire point of all of these debates is that willful rejection does not equal ignorance. It's not the same thing. You can't willfully reject Jesus Christ and still worship the same God. You might be able to be ignorant, right? Like
Okay, so this is where Ben does not have a firm grasp of the distinction between invincible ignorance and culpable or vincible ignorance. Okay? Because just because you're ignorant doesn't mean you're not culpable. There are plenty. What is that hand? Do you guys see that hand, or is that just me? Is that a hand on my screen? What is that? But you know what I mean? So, for instance, if you have adequate access to certain, I don't know, knowledge or catechesis or just, you know, naturally stuff like that, but you're too lazy, you're too stubborn to learn that which you should know, no, you can't claim invincible ignorance. Okay? You're culpable for your ignorance. So I think, again, Ben, make the distinction, or at least understand the distinction between culpable and non-culpable ignorance. I know there's a lot more to those, but
the pre-Christians didn't know who the Messiah was. They're worshiping God, so they're pre-Christians, right? They're worshiping the same God out of ignorance of what will be the fulfillment later on. You can't say that, let's say like a Muslim, I say, hey, Jesus is God. Do you worship the same God as me? They say no. Obviously, that guy doesn't have the same God as me, dude. It's just, it's that simple.
Okay, but again, we're talking about the sense, okay? Supernatural divine revelation is about the sense, like the Trinity, revealed dogma, Christ, incarnation, Eucharist, all that stuff, right? That's why when you see St. Thomas Aquinas commenting on John 8, he makes the distinction between the worship in the natural sense versus the worship of like father and son, like father and son. He who does not, you know, reject the father, he who accepts the son or whatever accepts the father. Whenever you see father and son, that's when you know we're talking about divine revelation. That's when you know. Now, so if a Muslim, or a Jew for that matter, culpably or what, I mean, or non-culpably or whatever, but for the sake of argument, if he rejects that part of a divine revelation, he can still, despite the errors of his religion, make a natural act of worship. And that didn't cease post-Christianity, you know what I mean? After Christ's ascent or whatever. That still happens. But see, they don't address that at all. We're almost done. Please like and subscribe.
It's totally different than a willful knowing rejection. Like the other thing I tried to see them corner people with,
they don't know about vincible ignorance. It's okay.
Is typically Protestants who bring these objections up. They'll say, well, do you think the Orthodox are worshiping a false God because they reject the Filioque? And what I always tell them,
what? I might have, hold on. I got to go. What?
It's that simple.
It's totally different than a willful knowing rejection. Like the other thing I tried to see them corner people with is typically Protestants who bring these objections up. They'll say, well, do you think the Orthodox are worshiping a false God because they reject the Filioque? And what I always tell them is, again, this is not a valid comparison. Yes, they reject the Filioque. Shocker. They're not actively seeking to reject the triune God, though. The reason they're doing that is because they're in pursuit of the triune God. And yes, this is a serious difference. Obviously, history bears.
Okay, but we're in the differences of what we confess to believe, that which has been revealed. Okay, so like the Filioque, we're not adhering to the Filioque. We're not talking about the natural realm and the natural act of worship.
This out. But the point is, that's not the same. They're not actively rejecting the Trinity. They're active.
So if they can't make the distinction between ecumenism and interfaith dialogue, why would they ever be able to make the distinction between natural acts of worship and supernatural acts of worship? right? You know what I mean? You could go all day. How about the distinction between person and essence? I mean, it goes on and on and on. Sorry.
Pursuing such, and so they reject something they believe that takes away from said thing. That's not the same as the Muslims. So nice try, but there's no way to square this. That's the point. There's no way to square this. It's indefensible, and it's embarrassing that they are forced to have to try and defend all this.
Guys, I'm just going to say this, like this whole force to believe in this thing, right? Because I was a Protestant for 20 years. If anything, I was indoctrinated with a rigid hermeneutical principle of how I read the Bible and interpreted it. I could not, I mean, it was the Lutheran way, and that's it. My whole environment, milieu, and reality was shaped on my rigid, compelled, and forced Lutheran hermeneutical principle. And I would say that other Protestants have that same issue. Now, when I converted to Catholicism, I was liberated. My conscience was absolutely free. You know what I mean? So what is Catholic, the teaching of Catholic morality? You know what takes precedence over the teaching of the church? I'm talking subjectively, obviously. You know what takes precedence over it? Conscience. That's what the church teaches. Your conscience and the fidelity to your conscience cannot be violated by any Catholic teaching or like the prelates domineering and making it felt and forcing you to believe in something. No, that's not how we operate. So it's just a stupid caricature straw man. It just is. Because he is not in our church and our milieu to experience the reality of how free Catholicism really is. You know, James White, Dr. James White, he's always so bent on Romans 5, verse 1. We have peace, shalom, knowing that we have been justified. But you can't have peace in Roman Catholicism because you might commit a mortal sin anytime, any day, and go to hell. Or you could go to 10,000 masses for your whole life and still go to hell, not be perfect enough, which is just crap. It just is. It just is. It's cope. It's cope. Cope. Sorry, I just, oh gosh.
You got to break down that filioque one real simple. Otherwise, you're going to lose them. I'll just ask him this. I say, is your God the filioque?
Yeah,
it's that simple. Is your God the filioque? No, it's like the Trinity is your God. Jesus Christ is your God. So you reject Jesus Christ's divinity. You reject the Trinity. You're worshiping a different God. It's like, oh, but what about they reject the absolute divine simplicity? Or, you know, come on, dude.
I know. So it just continues to be a kicking of the can, you know, another step down the road. But anyways, well, brother, thank you for being here. This was a great discussion. And folks, make sure to go check his channel out. It is linked in the description box.
No, check my channel out. Subscribe and like to my channel, guys. All right, we're going to get to super chats. Please keep sending them. Keep sending them. Okay. I love you guys. It supports my family, supports my kids, feeding them. Okay. Steak and lobster. No, I don't. No steak and lobster. Not yet. All right. Super chats. Love you guys. Thank you for your super chats. Love you, bro. No. Love you, bro. Clark, my man. Clark Davis in the house. Thank you for your super chat. Cannon and Creed blocked me on Twitter. Why? You got to tell me why, man. Why did he block you on Twitter? Oh, man. You guys getting blocked. Thank you. Christian Chittister. Are you new? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support, my friend. I think you're new. I hope you're still here. Full Nat Geo's crazy work. I've never heard of it until Ben, but you know, I think that's a Florida thing. I don't mean to dox him, but I think he's in Florida. Cleave to TMZ is legit unserious. Yeah, how did he come up with that name? Cleave to Lofton confirmed Nat Geo Messenger. Clark, take it easy, but yeah, okay. Thank you for the super chat, guys. Cleave to TMZ's researchers watching. No, dude, no. I know he watches Christian Wagner. I know he does. But he doesn't want to bring that up. Just saying. I'm just saying. The Catholic world is losing. Why Catholicism winning? It's a good point. Is that a two-quote? Thanks for the super chat. Ran out of rupees, so have some. Bro, Christian's from Argentina. He's got some U.S. dollars, and he's sending them my way. Love you, man. Christian's great. He has some good hair. No homo. Can we cancel Cleave to TMZ? Well, you know, you'd have to ask him. But all right, what did I miss? Bro's Indian? Who's Indian? Yes, I'm new. Have you subscribed, Christian? Oh, Clark, man, Clark's an oil tycoon, and he's just, redistributing the wealth. I really appreciate it. If you do a live with Wagner, I'll donate 50. Oh, done. 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 When do you want it to happen? Well, here's the thing. So I'm kind of near 20,000 subscribers, and I was going to try to get someone on, but whatever. But Christian's on a sabbatical. He's on paternity leave. I don't know. But I can get him on. It's just a matter of when and where. Yeah. Wait, you want me to get Gosh, look at the super chats. I love you guys. J Dyer W, you want me to get Hey, do you know him? I would love to have him on. I really would. That would be just, man, that would be epic. Oh, Clark, I've had Christian Wagner on twice before. So it's just a matter of when he gets done with his paternity leave and if he's not like terribly busy. In college, I said that Muslims worship a different God, and my Lutheran professor. What did your Lutheran professor say exactly? That's interesting. Interesting. What did he say? Huh. So your Lutheran professor said that Muslims worship the same God. Interesting. Thank you for the super chat, guys. Clark and James and everybody else. Okay. So yeah, you should watch Kevin's video. He cites Protestant theologians, like Orthodox ones, back in the day. Yeah. Oh gosh, geopolitical debates. Yeah, people like it. Get Lofton and block me. You got to super chat me, and I'll make it happen. Wait, what's super chat? No, I didn't. Oh, this one. Sorry. Cancel culture was made for this reason. Yes. I'm not into cancel culture. Your battery's on 1%. Bro, do you have school tomorrow? I think GP Banjo is, what are you, 16, 15? You have school tomorrow. It's getting late. Do your homework, go to bed. Just kidding. What else, guys? So yeah, I have a video coming out Wednesday, guys. Wednesday morning, okay? Seriously, Wednesday morning. Here, I'll share my screen. I'll give you a little taste. I can give you a little taste, right? And it's on some bad things Protestants have been doing, like for real. And I'm not talking just in general. I'm talking with me too. Like personally. Can I? Okay. Sneak preview, guys. Oh gosh, this is such a teaser. I love it. Such a teaser. So I get you guys to watch it. Okay, hold on. Okay, here you go. Are you ready? I'll show you a little teaser. So the title's Protestant Apologists Caught Lying and Slandering, and I am not making that up. I'm not making that up. Here's a little preview, okay? Just a little, though, because I don't want to get copyright struck by myself, okay? Protestant apologetics have been getting more and more deplorable and just straight up embarrassing. The cunning tactics that they have been employing has really manifested the real intentions of some Protestant apologists, from twisting history and scripture, to setting up straw man arguments, to even arguing that certain verses should not be in the Bible, to claiming prominent church fathers did not even exist. And many will resort to duplicitous strategies, all in an effort to undermine Catholicism while propping up Protestantism. Also, as of recent, I have noticed most Protestant apologists who can't seem to stop talking about Catholicism. Okay, guys, I can't. You got to watch it Wednesday. So keep your ears peeled. When you started this, did it bother you hearing your own voice while editing? Never. I don't know why, but I know what you mean about hearing your own voice. I remember back on landline telephones. Yeah, and some other things. What was it? Like, dude, my voice sounds really whack. It's a whack job. What? What? Stop. Bro, don't troll. Don't. What? He really does want the antiquity, but not the. Oh my gosh. Man, this is like big news. Did he put it on X or what? Or a video? Interesting. Man, I wonder what put him over the edge. Or not like that, but what was the last? He announced it privately to me. I was wondering if he would, given that he was refraining from criticizing them for. I know. Well, here's the thing, right? He stopped talking about Orthodox like altogether and just was Catholic. So I'm like, what's going on here? Why can't you rip on them too? Share the criticism, like spread it out a little bit. Man, dude, that's gonna make for an interesting. I don't know, like his channel. It's gonna be, I don't know what to think of that. Yeah, wasn't he a pastor at a church? Man, I got to interview him. That's what I'm sorry, what? Anyway, that's what I get for promoting what? Help me out there. I'm not, I don't have a big nose. What is that? For promoting a non-denominational channel. I'm sorry, yeah. Wait, what do you mean non-denominational? I just got it. What do you mean? That's what you get for promoting. You promoted his channel. Oh, just because like of the exposure and the people that got in touch with him, or what? You know, who was he? I mean, he's been on Ruslan. What else has he been on? He's collaborated with a lot of Protestants, but what Orthodox? Was it Jay Dyer? Yeah, that's what you get, Redeemed Zoomer. So are you saying you're culpable for his conversion to Orthodoxy? Do you feel guilty? Okay, Redeemed Zoomer, when are you able to come on with Wagner? I get $100. Let me know. Let me know, man. No, I'm not. No, I was just kind of messing around. I was just, dude, your conscience is clear, man. Sleep peacefully tonight, okay? Redeemed Zoomer, bro, do you sleep on the side, on the back, on the stomach? I'm not getting creepy. I'm just curious. I'm totally side. Totally side. Left, right side, whatever. What's for snack tonight? Wow, what a good stream, guys. We got 14 super chats. Pretty good. The goal is 20. Just saying. Goal is 20. Anybody want to become a member of the channel? What? Like, what kind of nightmares are we talking about? It depends. Yeah. Look at that. A strange gentleman. I love Cleve. I love Ben. I have no ill will towards him. I disagree with quite a bit, but I love him. I love the dude. I'd go bowling with him. He'd have to pay for it, though. Member of this. Bro, weren't you a member? What happened? Washed and sanctified. Mickey Rourke. What happened? What happened, man? Dude, Ash is in the house. Guys, Ash, for real. He is like almost celebrity stardom status. His channel's blowing up, man. Everyone's loving him. Go and subscribe to Ash Mays and his channel. Some serious good stuff. Odd. Sure. I love punks. I don't want to be a punk, but I love punks. What's going on? Wow, what news? Well, what do you guys want to do? We can do Ask Me Anything, Q&A, spiritual advice. I got 20, 30 minutes. We could do, we could play a game called Who is Your Daddy and What Does He Do? Could do that. That's a fun one. Play survival mode with RZ. What's survival mode? Bro, is RZ still here, man? If you and hey, RZ, will you and Wagner, I'll ask Wagner, but will you come on for my 20K subscriber celebration? My buddy will pay me $100. if Pope do bad thing, why God real? Sorry. Okay, now that's projection tacticia, or I don't know what's going on, but you're projecting. Bro, we're not protesting the Roman Pontiff. What is this? Yeah, sure. Blink twice, bark twice if you're in Milwaukee. Guys, come on, you have me for a few minutes here. I got 55 people. Anyone want to become a member? Ouch. That stings the nostrils. That's how we actually to be fair, I'd say the Oriental Orthodox. In a sense. But what else, guys? I do not play Minecraft. Bro, like what? Bro, sure, I'll become a member. Are you going to pay for it? Yeah. Okay, man. Dude, people can't understand your sarcasm, so they'll actually take that seriously, and you're literally costing me money. So just go DoorDash. I will. Just give me a month. When this gets longer, I'm doing a live stream where I shave my head. Eusebius better pay up. He said he'd pay me $100. Depends on the wax. Depends on the book. Depends on the barometric pressure. Depends on your face. Yes! Also, Christian, thank you for joining. Man, Christian, let me tell you, 16 cents a day. You tell me what you want in the member streams. We get really wild and saucy in the member stream. So, yeah, we have fun. We have a good crew of members. I'll have a member stream this Friday, Christian, okay? So, you should be there. We usually stream members like Friday and Saturday night, and then Mondays are usually public, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Well, how much, Odd? How much we talking? Yes, that is very well said, actually. Every type of I don't know, New Age philosophy or anything that is predicated on relativism, it's sophistry. Do you know like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle? Their whole like apologetics or polemics rather was to fight sophistry. I mean, that's literally what. Yeah. Anyways. Wait, seriously? Oh God, no. Okay, dude, don't tempt me because I'm going to the Catholic Answers conference. Can I get fake eyebrows? So, like, if I shave these off, can I get fake ones to glue on? Oh gosh, that's what I'm going for, man. You know what, guys? I have an announcement to make. I'm converting to Eastern Orthodoxy. Sorry. Bro, Cleveland Tukity is converting to Orthodoxy. That's crazy. Here we go. History Dwarf. I hope you're a subscriber. I have not seen you. What is your opinion on giving theologians aneurysms by constantly getting predestination wrong? Sumer has his own thoughts. What are yours? Okay, this is where I get a lot of slack. Okay, because we have different schools of thought. I mean, obviously, it's in scriptural, right? And the church teaches predestination. The school of thought of Thomism on predestination, I can't wrap my head around it. Now, I understand why Molinism is frowned upon. I really do. But to me, I can wrap my head around it a little bit more. Because, and this is just my opinion, maybe I don't understand Thomistic predestination. It just seems arbitrary. And I know it's not, okay? Because God predestines and chooses us, so it's not arbitrary. But it's tough. It's just tough. That's all. It's just tough. Yeah. It's a little more. I think it's a little more than that. I mean, you're correct. You're correct. Wait. Hold on. Let me reread this. Predestination to grace, right? Wait, what do you mean and reprobation? But no, okay, I got you. Yeah. No, that's yep. I got you. What else? What's a joke? Is RZ gone? Dude, $100. $100. I gotta get him and Wagner on here. That'd be a fun stream. Oh my gosh, that would be fun. Wagner. Christian Wagner. I don't have enough efficacious grace to choose anything other than Molinism. That's pretty funny, actually. Bro, that is like, to just wrap your head around that. It's crazy. You were predestined not to have, well, actually, here's the thing. So everyone has sufficient grace, but the elect, the efficacious grace, that the perseverance and the final perseverance, that's a part of predestination. And in a sense, if you're not predestined, but then it's your fault that you don't have the efficacious grace. I can't wrap my head around it. I'm sorry, I just can't. Wait, what? Hold on. What did you say? You need ortho beard? Yeah. I doubt Ben will stay Orthodox. I have no idea, dude. Well, ideally, concentrically, you go from Protestantism to Orthodox, and then from Orthodox to hopefully Catholicism, once you realize papal supremacy. How many orthobros does it take to... What is your epistemic justification for the normative authority to declare its energies insufficient? Bro, yeah, this is like J. Dyer, Charles Manson theology. I think I actually understand every part. So are you talking to me like the essence energies distinction in that regards of the energies being insufficient in like theosis or what? I'm pretty sure I understand most of your question. Kind of. But yeah. How can it be your fault if grace is unmerited? Can you rephrase the question? How can what be your fault? So I think what you're alluding to is like, so sufficient grace is offered to all of us, right? Like every single human being. And if you don't receive like efficacious grace or sanctifying grace or whatever, it's only your fault. You know what I mean? But God, the unmerited sufficient grace is offered to everybody. But it only becomes efficacious if you cooperate it. Accept it and cooperate it. Cooperate with it. And the prevenient grace that prompts and moves your will to cooperate with it is a grace in of itself. If that makes any sense. Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a tall order there. Fuentes. Bro, my wife was watching him. What's going on here? My wife's a groiper. It's messed up. Yes. Congruent merit for the win. Catholic layperson, have you been here? Guys, subscribe, like the channel, right? Like the video. Yeah, cool. 56 people? Who are these 56 people? Wait, DoorDash Thomas. Her assumption and her being the all holy Panagia and her what? Clip what? Clip this. Clip you. Clip what? My wife at being a groiper? Bro. Groiper. Sorry, yeah. Well, she sent me a... You want me to show you? She sent me a text. Here. Right here. I don't know if you guys can see this. That's her texting me. She doesn't really know Fuentes, but she came across, says, lick Fuentes. Says, Nick Fuentes loses it over rising chaos in America. And then she says, why is he making sense? Question mark. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, she is. She is more base than I am. Dude, I'm gonna try to get Ben on. Was I too hard on him? Too polemical in this reaction? Bro, I would love to, like, why orthodoxy? I'd really like to see what's going on there. I would bet Ben goes Orthodox Church of America. Well, yeah. Is there roll core over here? Oh, yeah, there is roll core because Dyer's roll core. I don't know what I would be if I went Orthodox. I just don't know. Guys, Lego Shooping? Are you subscribed to this channel? You got to be subscribed. Lego Shooping, we have amazing live streams. Member streams. You should become a member. Apparently, she just converted to groiperism or whatever you guys call it. She got sucked into the groiperism. Or bro, Fuentes, man, that guy's a hippie. He is such a hippie. It's like, man, how old is that cat? 26? Bro, I would debate him on Zionism. Sir Minimi, welcome. There's a member. Yep, sell that membership. I love it. Thank you so much. We'll do Friday. Oh, he's 28. Guys, you know Nick Fuentes debated Jay Dyer? I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. And I'm sorry, but I think Jay Dyer did a little better. Just saying. Just saying. I don't think he affirmed the filioque. He just bashed it in this very stream. Wait, who? What? Ben? Or what? Who are you talking about? What you talking about, Phyllis? Bro, Echoes is in the house. Echoes is one of our... See, I do shout-outs. Echoes is one of our best members. Not to denigrate the other members, but he's super supportive of the channel. He's funny. He's witty. Gives great insight. Very edifying. I have no idea. I did not make you. I didn't make anybody a mod. I don't know. I have no idea. I can take it off. I really don't know. No one should be a mod on this. Seriously, look in all the stuff. No one should be. Bro, thank you for the super chat. I can't, dude. Like, are you serious? Do you really want me to do it right now? Because I'm going to have to get fake eyebrows because I'm going to the Catholic Answers Conference because I'm a pop apologist. Guys, I am the best pop apologist. Thank you so much, Random Catholic. Man, you're a member. Like, where did this guy come from? Just made my night. Just made my night. I'll be able to sleep very peacefully tonight. Isn't it funny how money does that? I'm just kidding. But hey, you know, I can take your mod away. Yeah, right. So okay, Deuterocomical. Don't take offense. I took all the mods away because people were abusing it, like just kicking people for the lamest things. I'm like, nah, get out of here. So I just took them all away. But apparently Echoes has a wrench. If you want a wrench, Deutero, if you want a wrench, $75 super cheap. Guys, I'm not greedy, I promise. I got bills. $100 a stream. Yeah, okay, man. Bro, how's the tat business? If I was gonna get a tattoo, what would I get? Bro, I should get Cleave to Antiquity on my back. Just kidding. He used to come in these live chat streams. Oh, now that would be a mess. Can we all be mods here? You guys would start debating and getting into fights and just banning each other. Oh my gosh. Like for real, for real. No cap, no cap. You want to hear me rap with my no cap? Huh? Dude, but you bet I will. Dude, someone take a screenshot of this. Someone clip this. I'll make it happen. Where does Nick Fuentes live? In his mom's basement, but where does his mom live? What trailer park? Dude, Fuentes, he's such a hippie. He's a trailer park hippie, and you know it. Groypers are trailer park hippies. He lives in Chicago. Wonder if he's a White Sox or Chicago Cubs fan. I bet, you know what? Dude, you know he's a Cubs fan. He's just such a he better not be. Thank you guys for your super chats. Oh, I missed a super chat. Sorry. Thanks, Random. Man, I love my Protestant brothers and sisters. All my family are Protestant, but I'm for real. I'm not just saying this because of the live stream. Catholics, not all, but Catholics are the most generous people. They just are. I'm the guy that emailed you about interacting with JP after they published a fake thumbnail. Dude, yes. Did I tell you the story? This guy reaches out to me, the TMT, what's his Gospel Truth, whatever guy, reaches out to me via email. Oh, hey, would you like to debate JP Uncut on Intercession of the Saints? And that was it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm open to it. Like, and then we corresponded, or what, we had correspondence for like, I don't know, a few weeks going back and forth, you know, logistics. Where is this, you know, are you going to be able to, you know, give him medical assistance after I annihilate him in the debate? Just kidding. And, dude, I kid you not. I wake up one morning and there's a thumbnail of JP Uncut and myself, a debate scheduled in Dallas or wherever for February, whatever. I'm like, bro, I did not commit to this. Bro, these emails going back and forth, we're trying to figure out if I was going to commit to this and do this. And then, but here's the funny thing though. I was like, whatever. I'll probably end up doing that. I'll go, whatever. So I didn't say anything. But then I found out my wife, she's due in the first week of February. Can't debate. So I messaged him. I'm like, bro, can't debate. Wife's pregnant, triplets. And he's like, I wish you would have told me this. So, you know, we didn't schedule it. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, I did not give you permission. I did not commit to this. Sorry, I yapped, but it was funny. Funny, not funny. Dude, Cubs are horrible. Yes, Lego shooping. Yes. Guys, we're going to have the best stream this Friday. The best stream ever. Ever. I'm going to dress up as Nick Fuentes and have the same background. I'm going to get my wife and we're going to talk about Israel for like 7 hours. Yep. We're going to have popcorn and yeah, dude, it's going to be great. Beef jerky. Yeah, I'm really not. I have no opinion on them. I don't watch them. I don't nothing. So whatever. But yeah, nothing. I have nothing to say. Sorry. No, I was just not triplets. I'm sorry. We're actually having quadruplets. No, we're having just so 70%. The OB doctor, we're having one, but the OB 70% that it's a girl, and we already have 3 girls, so we're gonna have 4 girls. And when those 4 girls are going through puberty, and then I have my wife, pray for me. Just pray for me. I'm just trying to hit the goal at this point, but you should really shave your eyebrows now. Oh, dude. Okay. You don't have to super chat me anymore. For real. I have a Catholic Answers conference to go to. I have to live stream this Friday and Saturday. Do I get fake eyebrows? No, I'm being serious. Like, dude, I can't go to the Catholic Answers conference looking like a, hippie with no eyebrows. But thank you for the super chats. Echoes, love it. Echoes, did you just notice tonight that you were a mod, or when did you notice that? When did you notice that? Ocean Plants Love. I like your eyebrows. Gonna go ahead and guess you might be a female? Pay to play. Odd, you're not a mod. Odd, are you gonna renew your membership your free membership when it runs out? I would be sad. I would need therapy for months if you didn't renew it. Ocean Plants Love. Is this your first time to the channel? I love getting new people. How dare you? What's super chat? I'm getting way too many. Bro, come on, guys. Listen. When I get back September 30th, okay, to Kansas, and if this is grown a little bit where I can dye it white, I'll shave my eyebrows and I'll shave my head. Okay? Look, you have the virtual paper trail or whatever. You have proof right here. I will do it. Oh, right on. Thank you. I can't keep up with the thing. Are you on your phone, Sir Mini-Me? That's probably why. That's it. Oh, that's a good point. Shh, quiet. What do you? Quiet. Oh, what would I look like? It's actually not that bad. Is it? I could do the makeup pencil. You know the makeup pencil my wife has? After she gets done watching Fuentes, I'll borrow the pencil and just, pencil it in a little bit. Does that sound good? Oh, the pressure. I can't handle the pressure. I just can't. Someone bail me out of this right now. Dude, I don't think I have enough chest hair, to be honest with you. Where do you get fake chest hair? Five Below? Where do you get fake chest hair? Spencer's? I bet Amazon you could. I promise I'm sober, guys. Okay, I'm just getting a little goofy. Just chill. Okay, just chill. Let's see. Hold on. I'm on my phone, but it lets me for William's channel. Why? Really? I don't know. Maybe he's a bigger channel. I don't know. That's weird. That's fine. Just you can just Venmo me a few $100. That's no. Dude, Father John, what's up? I didn't call you dude. I'm sorry. Father John, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. I recently interviewed Father Boddicker, Father Jacob Boddicker, who's a Jesuit priest. He's in Ohio. Yeah, you saw that come up. Yeah, you saw that. Good deal. Good deal. We love Jesuits. Oss is cooking. He's cooking meth. Bro, you mean Odd? Yeah, Odd is cooking meth. Shaving cult mortification. Yeah. What am I mortifying? My dignity? Gosh, you guys, leave me alone. I know, dude. I know. Like, especially when I get a nice super chat from like random Catholic, and I know they take such a big cut. I know. So I know Streamlabs, or is it? Yeah, Streamlabs. They have oh gosh, I gotta look into that, man. Thanks. So I appreciate that. He made a video. Last comment was inviting the priest. Nice. Boniface, become a member or I'm banning you. Just kidding. Am I kidding? Yes, $800, dude. For $800, I'll shave everything. Okay, that sounded bad. Not like that. No, stop it. Not like that. You know what I meant. My arms and my legs. Stop it. You guys are disgusting. Yeah. Hey. Well, don't have to pay for haircuts. I save on shampoo and conditioner. Harder to get lice, right? And yeah, cool in the summer, right? Yep. Good deal there. That's a charism. It's a charism. Dude, I'm not shaving my eyebrows. Danny, help me. They're trying to get me to shave my eyebrows. Your dignity is secondary to the enjoyment we would all experience watching you shave your eyebrows. I agree, but guys, stop it. Okay, I'm in my office across the street from where I live. I don't think there's a Clippers here. So I'm just saying, but I will do it. Or how about the lines? I don't want to look like a moron for the conference, guys. I mean, Trent Horn's going to be there. I can't. Come on. Oh, you know what's hilarious? Do you guys know about the at casinos, at the ATMs, you can only use your, debit or credit card so often before it just won't take it anymore to prevent you from like spending too much. I wonder if YouTube has that on their super chat thing. Dude, Odd, thanks for the $5, man. Let's get tatted. Bro, I'm Latin through and through till I die. I know, right? Exactly. Oh, Ben, did you not get my Discord message about the t-shirt? You need to message me your first and last name so I can put it on the thing to mail to you. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. Okay, so we reached the goal. Dude, look, Eric, our Eastern Orthodox friend from Canada with the Canadian dollars just entered the house. So Eric, do you know who Cleave to Antiquity is? Okay, I said I would give a free t-shirt away if I hit my super chat goal, and I absolutely did. Thank you, Eric, for your super chat. What? Okay, we gotta play a game or something. I can't just randomly do it. I'm gonna give a t-shirt away. Who wants the t-shirt? First person to guess what I'm wearing like on my legs You know what I mean? Like, what kind of clothing am I wearing? Oh, Clarky Poo. Dude, to get Bro, we have a priest in here, man. Tights? What? Guys, no, like pants? Who wears pants? Pajama pants. What are jorts? I don't know what jorts are. Leggings. There's the winner chicken dinner. All right. I'm literally so shorts, socks. Ow! Shorts and socks. So, bro, man. Let's go to the casino tonight. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. Yes, we love tithing. You know, all the super chats, guys, they're tax deductible. And they really count for almsgiving too. So I think the only person who's immune from super chats here is Father John, because he's a religious. But everyone else, guys, you're obliged. Very immodest. Sorry. Hey, at least I don't take pictures of myself wearing this before Mass. Oh my gosh. Mortal sin. Wait, who's A? A, are you new? Are you new? Subscribe. Everyone, please. Subscribe, like the thing. Man. Hey, Eric, are you still in the Discord, or did you just hop out? Did you hop out? That's okay if you hopped out. I'm just curious. Oh, okay, my bad. I don't know your name. I just see the letter A. Oh, hey, Ignatius, do you want to join our cool Discord? It can get a little rough, but do you want to join it? And then that way we can message and have fun. And then you can send me your information, your mail-in address and real first and last names. Don't do it on here, obviously. That's whack, but ooh. Well, Ignatius, who's here from the Discord? Evan or Ignatius, can you drop that Discord? Not mine. Mine is the lamest. No offense. It's dude, I have 100 people in my Discord and it's dead. Odd, you should go into this Discord, man. Dude, we all have the same type of humor. You should really drop that Discord. No offense to the women. It's male only. Yes, Ben. Dude, is Michael on here? Can I drop that Discord link or not? Oh no, it's not my Discord. I want to get permission. I don't want to just like have a bunch of randos coming in. Your church doesn't let you proselytize me as an individual. Then you get angry when I reject Rome. I'm not angry that you reject Roman Catholicism. Are you talking to me or other people? I'm not angry. Eric, your conscience, the fidelity to your conscience takes precedence. Okay? I'm fine with you following your conscience. Oh, they kicked you out. Did you guys kick him out of the server? Out of the Discord server? Bro. Eric, you and I can start a Discord ourselves. It'll be great. Okay, guys, right here. Because he's in the Discord. If anyone wants to join the Discord, give me your Discord username and deny Vishnu right now and don't be a woman. Vishnu is burning? Oh my. There you go. Wait, what's this? There you go. Ignatius of Antioch. Reel him in. Eric, man, I'm your bud here. I'm your bud. Okay. I can't help what happened. That's not my Discord that you were in. What do you mean by that, Eric? Ooh, drop that K fast. That sounds a bit like all faiths are fine if it matches your conscience. No, that's not what I said. That would be indifferentism. That would be modernism. That's not what I said. What I mean is that you should follow your conscience and not be manipulated and coerced into a faith or into a church. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Banjo, I think you have to be at least 18. At least. JP, are you in 8th grade? I'm just kidding. Are you in 8th grade? Chat of War, are you a new friend of ours? Subscribe, become a member, join the Discord. Honestly, though, as a new Catholic, this LGBT Jubilee situation is brutal. Let me say this. I don't want to downplay how you feel, and I don't want to downplay what happened. I do think people are taking it and blowing it out of proportion a little bit. I have qualms. I didn't like the fact that they allowed symbols of ideology to be brought into the St. Peter's Basilica. I didn't care for that. And what they said, so like, they had their garb on with all their LGBT rhetoric and cuss words and all that. You can say like, change your shirt or turn it inside out. It's okay, because I went to a basilica in the Dominican Republic, and before entering into that cathedral or basilica, if women were wearing, spaghetti straps and, cleavage, oh no, you can't even enter in that church. I know it sounds non-inclusive or whatever, but no, it's just out of respect. What do we do? What do you mean? Oh, I'm just kidding, Banjo. You know I love you. I know, I'm just kidding, bro. My bad. Just imagine explaining this to evangelical family members who are extra critical of the church. Right. Oh, another thing I was going to say, Chat of War. You should really super chat me for all this advice. I'm kidding. Guys, I'm not this greedy. Any scandal, right? Any like imprudent judgment or act or whatever, whether it's the Pope or any prelate, so what? No, I don't mean so what. Like, yeah, it's a big deal. It scandalizes. It'll keep people out of the church and drive people away. But it's a scandal, just like all the 100 or tens of thousands that we've had since Judas. So really, it's a way to test your fidelity to the church, and it's really a test of conviction for those trying to enter into the church. Like, are you going to allow a public scandal that's not nearly as scandalous as Judas's betrayal to deter you from entering into the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church? So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Yeah. Who's John of the Chris? I'm kidding. I know who you're sorry, I know who you're talking about. Guys, have you heard of St. John of the Chris? Autocorrect. What? Hold up. What did I miss? Something homo happened? Boy, I hope not. Yeah. Odds getting into the Discord. Anybody else? Eric, where'd you go, man? Don't leave. Random Catholic, did you get the Discord invite? I understand your vibe and trying to remain calm through this, but bro, this is something different. It makes me doubt if it is truly the church, although it's easy to be paranoid. Well, I am empathetic to the way you feel, absolutely. And I'm not gonna try to convince. I would take it to our Lord. I would pray about it. Okay. Meditate and read on Luke 17, the first few verses about scandals and the severity of them, and how it would be better if those who created the scandals, it had been better if a millstone was tied around their necks and thrown into the sea. I mean, for real, that's what Christ said. Doesn't sound too merciful, does it? I was illustrating the severity of scandals and what it does. But yeah, pray about it. Just really take that. I know it sounds cliche, but Literally take it. The way it makes you feel and think and everything. Your doubt, your paranoia, everything. Just take it to our Lord. Excuse me. Ignatia, Lego shopping. Can you drop your Discord handle, please? Fade Runner. Who's the little doggy? Want a treat? Want a treat? Go outside. Go for a ride. I hope not. I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, Chad, I appreciate your transparency. You know what I mean? A lot of people feel the same way that you do, but they're, whatever, they're too ashamed or embarrassed to even mention it, let alone talk about it. So, Ignatius Vantiak, you still here? Can you get Lego shooping? What is Lego shooping? Oh my B, son. Ignatius, what a boomer. Guy doesn't even exist. Guys, I think I'm gonna head out here pretty soon. So if you want to just sneak a super chat under the rug as I'm on my way out. RJ, you missed everything. Bro, we're 2 hours in and I have the best subscribers, viewers, and members. Absolutely 100%. I love all of you guys. I'm so thankful for your support and just hopping on here and watching me and typing and liking and just, guys, you are my channel. You make this channel go. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd be panhandling downtown on Broadway. So I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm going to give away more t-shirts. Okay. What the heck? Let's give out another one. Okay. Let's give it out another t-shirt. Because I'm already mailing 2. Might as well make it place. Okay. What do you guys? All right. Who wants another t-shirt? Let's do. Gosh, I got to think of something good. Nice, dude. Congrats. That's awesome. Altar is spelled Altar. Just saying. I'm not, we're in this together. I just see a lot of non-Catholics spell altar like that. I know you didn't try, though. Wait, what did you just say? Lego shooping is a phrase that I might have remembered or misremembered from Popularmos, Crafting Dead. What? Bro, what did you just say? What? Oh, gosh, I love it. Lego shooping. Oh, a little Lego shooping. Who is that in your picture? Is that a little bird? We love birds. All right, guys, I'm going to head. Man, I'm not going to lie, though. This is one of my best streams ever. No, for real. I got to give out another t-shirt. Okay, I have a bookshelf behind me. My favorite book on that bookshelf behind me. What is it? I know it could be. It's for a t-shirt. What's my favorite book behind me on that bookshelf? It's all Catholic books, so don't The Great Gatsby or whatever. Darth Vader? Oh, nice. Dude, Return of the Jedi. Am I? What letter? Oh, let's go shooping. Okay. Well, what the heck is shooping? Bro, I got a signed copy of it. Got a winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Twilight. No. Okay, I'll give you a hint because I know it's really open-ended. It could be anything, right? I'll give you a hint. Mary. No, I didn't. I talked with him. I totally had a conversation with Redeem Zoomer. Are you talking to somebody else? Okay, a book about Mary in my bookshelf. My favorite book of all time. If you guess it, you get a free t-shirt. Oh, don't make me do it. Clark, don't you make me do it. I love LOTR. I love Lord of the Rings. Bro, good guess. Oh, because I have that. I have it right behind me, but oh, that's not quite it. Why do you think that? No, but what's funny is I did call in the Catholic Answers once. Like, I've only called in once. I talked to Tim Staples, and he mailed me that book. I still haven't read it, though. I don't mind Lord of the Rings. It's just not my cup of tea. It's just, I'm talking about the movies. I've never read the... Well, can you join the Discord and say something, and then yes, I'll message you. Yep. Bro, that's another good one, but no. There it is. Bro, how... Wait, do you have a t-shirt? Do you have a t-shirt, Echoes? I thought I gave you one. No? Yeah, it is. It's True Devotion to Mary. Nothing will ever beat that for me. It needs to be your cup of tea. All right, Echoes, I'll or just Echoes if you want to text or message me your address. Dude, anyone else grew up in the 80s? Best. 80s, early 90s. I'm sorry. Nothing better. Don't give me this boomer hippie stuff of the 60s. No offense, boomers. You kidding? Bro, do it. If you can get a couple bucks, to get you out of a pinch, get you a nice hot beef sandwich, then sell the thing. Take a picture of it though, for sentimental purposes. Take a picture and put that thing on eBay. Put it on the market. Put it on there. Guys, what's for nighttime snack? I got to get going though, for real. I really got to get going. It's getting out of hand. Gosh. Well, I do have a little. Could you guys do me a little favor? Dude, the 90s were best. Dude, cereal. Danny, what kind of cereal? Talk to me. Costco cookies, amazing. Ooh, Con Lived is in the house. Con, you don't want to become a member? Then we can really get Con-like. Yeah, I hear you on that one. Oh my gosh. That is so heretical. Odd. I might ban you from the comment section. Like, dude, you're gonna have to make an argument for that one. Oh my gosh, what? Come on, man. The $5, yeah, they're man, down here in Wichita, they're not as good. Oh my gosh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh. Fruity Pebbles, I never bought into the hype. Never did. Didn't do anything for me. Nope. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oh my gosh. It's like divine, man. It's divine stuff. Frosted Flakes is dope too. A lot of sugar, but dope. Yeah, in California, maybe. Dude, what are they just waiting for them at Costco? Like ICE agents? They pop out of an oh gosh. Oh, they pop out of the freezer. Dude. Interesting. Thinly sliced banana with frosted flakes. Are you like sober? You got to be sober to eat that? Bro. pepperoni slices for nighttime snack or toast with butter and salt for extra sodium. My mouth is watering just thinking. You're on the East Coast, baby. You just dox yourself. You know you have that backwards, right? Like, how do you get away with this? Just because people get deported? Dude, Sam's Club is like the great value version. It's the generic version of wholesale outsellers. All right, guys, I really got to go, though. You guys, oh, this has been one of the best streams ever. Like, hands down. Oh, can you guys do me a favor? Since you've been so supportive and generous, I published a video today. Okay. It's a conversion story. It's about a gentleman who worked for law enforcement, the DEA. He was an undercover agent going to meth labs, busting meth labs. He was married to a Catholic and for 13 years went to mass every single Sunday and Holy Day of Obligation, but would resist becoming Catholic until 13 years in, something happened and he converted. If you could watch that, I'm not asking you to click on it, like just click on it and like it and then get off. Either watch the whole thing, or if you do click on it, let it play out. Like, drop a comment if you can. It's actually an amazing conversion story. It's really depressing though, because my last two conversion stories, which I didn't think were all that well, besides Mark was amazing. But this one like takes the cake and no one's watching it. It's super depressing. Super depressing. Guys, you got to watch all of it. And if you don't watch all of it, let it play out. Let it play out. Does that make sense? So you click on a video, mute it. I don't care, mute it. Let it play out. It's an hour and a half. And then, yeah, that would help me. The video's struggling. People need to see that. Sorry. Dude, thanks for watching it. Let's go shopping. Yeah, it's on my channel. And I know it probably doesn't even, guys, if you're subscribed to my channel, another thing you got to do, you got to hit the bell notification. Because I know a lot of my subscribers, they don't get notified of any of my videos or live streams. They're like, oh, I didn't know you were live. Like, what the heck? But yeah, we watch bots. Hey. If it wasn't struggling so much, I would never ask. And if the interview itself was like cringe or just like, I wouldn't ask. It's just sad because like I have lots of videos that have tanked, whatever. But this one's like, you know, he weeps during the interview. He goes to like drug houses with kids abandoned and cockroaches. It just I could go on and on. It's just an amazing conversion story. Just, oh gosh. And nobody's watching it. I don't get YouTube. I don't get the algorithm. I don't. All right. I really got to go. Again, I'm going to say, if you haven't liked and subscribed the stream, please do. You guys are everything to me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, for liking everything, for commenting, for all the super chats, for being members, for becoming members. I'm so grateful. I really am. Because guys, this is what I do. And without you, yeah. So I thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. All right. Probably a member stream this Friday, maybe another member stream on Saturdays for all you new members. Okay. And we usually go live at 7:30 p.m. Central, 7 or 7:30 p.m. Central. Remember I said Central. Okay. Peanut Butter Captain Crunch. Mary Walker. Do I know you? Mary, are you my neighbor? No, for real. How do I know that name? Mary Walker. Anyways, Peanut Butter Captain Crunch is good, but it just annihilates the top of your mouth. Good night, guys. God bless. Praise be Jesus and Mary. Say your prayers. You guys are the best. You really are. Okay? Peace.